Hi, you got 20 minutes? We're gonna take a little stretching rest. I would love for you to have a bolster. We're going to use that today. So if you don't have a bolster available to you specific, and let's face it, most of us don't have them at home. I do, but I'm the odd bird. A pillow will do. So a pillow or even two. Sometimes even like folding a blanket so that it makes a little bit of a pile can help you either substitute a bolster or build a bolster up or build your pillows up if you need something a little bit higher. So for this one, you'll need something like this. And I don't really need this. We're gonna lie on our sides. So start with your bolster on the right side of your body with your knees bent in like a side saddle seat. Bring your right side ribs on the bolster so that you can lie over the bolster. And it could be that you start holding your head in your hands like this. We're gonna build to a little bit more of a side stretch, the right ear to the bicep, maybe interlacing the hands and building even more side body stretch. You're gonna have to see kind of how your body feels and what your bone structure is. You might also straighten your left leg and slide your left foot back a little bit more. And this is a yin posture. We'll be here for a few minutes. So be sure that you're positioned somewhere that you can be patient and be still. The sensation that you would feel would be along this left side. You get to decide how deep you go into the asana, how you arrange it, for what degree of stretch is suitable. You can close your eyes and help the nervous system quiet itself a bit. And then move the breath in and out with some intentional breath work. So I'll just remind you that the ear can come to the right arm. If that feels too much, you can prop your head in your right hand. If the ear is on the arm, you can reach your left hand to meet the right. And I interlace my fingers to kind of hook the arm there. And then to feel more, straighten the left leg back behind you. Yin yoga is a very gentle revolution. It's super Gandhi-like. The peaceful, gentle statements that have a really big impact. Just like this quiet time of your day can have a very significant impact on the quality of the day. It's not necessarily my, quote, best days spent rushing around, banging away at the world. Most of what I consider my best days include a pause, include a break, include a few minutes of releasing and relaxing. Include some gentleness. So relax your jaw and deepen your breath. We've got about 1 full minute here, so just more and more breath in and out. perhaps you notice that when I'm quiet, you get an opportunity to notice how you're doing. When I'm throwing directions and instructions and ideas, it's super difficult to stay tuned in to yourself. Certainly there are times when we need our external awareness, but for these 20 minutes, this rest and stretch opportunity, and you're good. You're good. Deep breath in, sigh out. Use your hands to walk yourself up for this opportunity. It's the quiet, it's the internal that we need. So you're welcome to turn yourself around and face the opposite direction. Keep your bolster right where it is. I'm going to face the same direction and move my bolster so that I don't lose you. So the knees are side saddle with the feet to the right. The bolster's on the left. The side body line comes to the left. The left hand can catch the head. That gets me started. It lets me feel if I'm in a good spot along the side ribs. And then I can experiment and explore and see where I'm going to go. And the arms overhead, and the right leg is the long one this time. And it's definitely different than a restorative pose. In a restorative pose, we don't feel much sensation. We just let the props support us. But in this yin posture, you definitely want to feel the tension, the pulling, the stretching along the right side of the waist here. The sensations that you're getting are coming from the plastic tissues. They're coming from the fascial material, more so than the muscles. And that material takes time. It takes time to lengthen and release and stretch that material. So as you work with the inner experience, continue to drop the volume down. Just like one little click of the dial, softer. One less little inner urge. A little bit smoother, less scratchy. These last 30 seconds with a bit deeper breath. Notice what happens when you swell a bit more air into the lungs. When you move the diaphragm through the abdominal cavity with a bit more intention. Nice, nice. Take your time walking your body upright. And we'll just sit with the eyes closed in the easy sit for a moment. Just bend the back knee and push yourself up and arrange your legs. And feel for the right side waist to release the asana. And we're going to use the bolster this time to support in front of the chest. And so I'm going to back myself up to the wall because I'm going to offer you this bent knee variation. So if you're lying on your belly, you put the bolster under your chest with the knees bent up the wall. You're feeling the sensations in the front of the hip. And so this can be exactly what you're working with. And it's the stretch in the front of the hip and the low belly coming up the inner psoas muscles. If you find that that's too much for you, you don't need to be at the wall at all. I'm just giving choices because I know different days we are ready for different things. You're welcome to put your forearms on the bolster and drop a long-legged back bend like this. And if you find that that's too much, there's, the capacity to lower and be a little more chest down. So it's going to be something that lets you target the front of the hips and create a back bend, lift of the sternum. And so the most challenging would be against the wall with the knees bent. And a little more accessible would be the bolster under your chest or under your forearms. Get yourself arranged. And see what you can do to be easy with it. So the key is to stay for the duration. And like I said, it takes time. So the more squirming we do, the more adjusting we do, that leaks our benefits out, that reduces the impact. And the longer we can stay in a place of stillness with just steady, positive stress on the tissues, then they'll give, they'll start to creep and loosen and open up for you. Be still. Hold your hands still. Keep your eyes still. Deep breath in and let a sigh out. And start to work your way out so you can lower down so you're flatter. And then push yourself up and back. And it could be that you take a couple breaths in child's pose. The rebound is pretty important. You just want to find a place where you can sit for a moment. And we're going to meet seated with the flats of the feet together and the knees butterfly. And I'll suggest that you just take the bolster right on top of the feet legs here. And my bolster is in front of the knees so that it can be just a resting place for me, so that when I come down, I've got like some comfort underneath my chest. And honestly, I can come flat to the ground, but having a shape that has me lift a little bit more where I can relax with this support is super helpful. So even if you feel like you could go flat, you don't have to. You're welcome to set the bolster aside and do it that way. But I'd suggest today just keeping something underneath you so that you get that feeling of support. We're going to bring the chin or the forehead down to the bolster and breathe deeply. Just one more minute, so about 6 to 8 breaths. You probably have noticed that your breathing has changed pretty significantly in these 20 minutes. You relax the jaw and soften the eyes. Walk yourself up, set the bolster aside, and bring your feet flat to the mat. Lean back into your hands. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. Sit in an easy sit with your hands at your heart center. You're welcome to tap me off and go back to some rest, go back to perhaps a meditation. And if you're feeling full and complete, then I offer you my gratitude. Thumb knuckles to your third eye center. Namaste. Thanks, guys.